goes to look away. Lots Ortiz talking to Mayweather. And watch that.
Boxing is brutal enough when it's fair, but what happens when the world's most famous fighters throw out the rulebook and get caught? From ear bites to plaster-loaded gloves, tonight we're breaking down the dirtiest tricks in boxing history and the shocking moments the cameras caught live. Stay with me, because the last scandal on this list didn't just end a career, it nearly ended the sport itself.
Nice right hand by Mike. He is trying to get that right hand home.
The 28th of June, 1997, the world tuned in to watch two gladiators settle the score. What they got instead was one of the most shocking and disgraceful moments in boxing history. Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, turned into the most infamous rule breaker alive when he literally tried to eat his opponent alive.
That's the jab Mike didn't have in the first fight.
Tyson had already lost once to Holyfield, and he came into the rematch, desperate, frustrated, and paranoid. From round 1, Tyson was complaining about headbutts, but by round 3, the switch flipped. Instead of throwing punches, Tyson lunged forward, clamped down with his teeth, and ripped off a chunk of Evander Holyfield's ear, spitting it onto the canvas like a piece of discarded meat. The referee stopped the action, chaos erupted, and fans couldn't believe what they were seeing.
Evander Holyfield, look out, he's pushed right here, above us by Tyson.
A heavyweight championship fight devolving into a street brawl where a man literally tried to chew victory out of desperation. Tyson wasn't just disqualified, he became a global headline for all the wrong reasons. Overnight, the legend of Iron Mike became the horror story of Bite Mike.
Tyson faces the possibility of a lengthy ban from boxing after his disqualification for biting during this morning's WBA world title fight in Las Vegas against Evander Holyfield.
Now, if Tyson's bite was raw, animalistic chaos, our next case is something far darker. Miguel Cotto walked into the ring that night undefeated, a proud champion, fighting with precision and heart. Across from him stood Antonio Margarito, the Tijuana Tornado, a man known for relentless pressure. For 11 rounds, Margarito absorbed punishment, kept walking forward, and then battered Cotto until the Puerto Rican star's corner threw in the towel. But what looked like an incredible display of toughness would later take on a sinister shadow. And the most chilling part? In the build-up to their rematch, Miguel Cotto sat across from Antonio Margarito on HBO's Face Off, pulled out photos of Margarito's raps from 2008, and pointed to a torn, discolored knuckle area, the same spot later linked to plaster-stained inserts seized before the Mosley fight.
Yo te gané bien. ¿Eso no está roto ahí? ¿Cuál roto? Esa es una foto. Mira los vendajes. Los vendajes se los llevaron. Los vendajes se los llevaron. Los vendajes los tienen. Eso no tenía el vendaje. Entonces, mira los vendajes.
Cotto stared him down and said, "This is not normal." Margarito denied everything on camera, laughing it off, but the images told a different story, and the doubt became impossible to ignore.
El vendaje simplemente gasa. Mira los vendajes cuando se los llevaron. El vendaje simplemente gasa. Y no hay nada, no hubo nada y no va a haber nada. No hubo nada y no va a haber nada.
Tyson's bite shocked the world. Margarito's loaded gloves shattered trust. But next, we head into the murky corners of fight cheating. This isn't about punches. It's about poison in a bottle. The 4th of December, 1982 HBO cameras caught a chilling line. With two legends battling inside the ring, Panama Lewis shouted from Pryor's corner, "Not that bottle, the one I mixed."
Give me another thing. Give me another bottle. The one I mixed.
No one knew what was inside, but that bottle changed everything. The result stood, and Pryor won by knockout. But that line, "the bottle I mixed," haunted Arguello, fans, and boxing history. Officials never tested. No formal admission came. Yet to many, the greatest unfair advantage was caught live, in plain sight, with no full explanation to follow. And just when you thought boxing's cheating scandals couldn't get any darker, the spotlight shifted to one of the sport's most respected champions, Shane Mosley. This wasn't something caught inside the ropes. This was exposed under oath in a courtroom.
The injection was EPO, right?
It was EPO, yes.
And you knew it was EPO that day, correct?
Yeah.
Rewind to 2003. Mosley was preparing for his highly anticipated rematch with Oscar De La Hoya, one of the biggest events of that year. Fans packed the arena, millions watched on pay-per-view, and Mosley outclassed De La Hoya over 12 rounds to claim victory. But years later, the truth came out, and it shook the boxing world to its core. Mosley's name surfaced in the infamous Balco scandal, the same steroid ring that rocked baseball and the Olympics. During sworn testimony, Mosley admitted he had been injected with the designer drugs known as EPO. He claimed he didn't know they were performance-enhancing steroids at the time, but the damage was already done.
December of 2003. Did you know you were taking EPO, yes or no?
Yes.
Wait until you hear this one, because the next scandal wasn't just cheating, it was straight up organized crime controlling the sport. Enter Jake LaMotta, the Raging Bull. A fan favorite, a warrior in the ring, but behind the scenes, he made a deal with the devil. In 1947, LaMotta stepped into the ring with Billy Fox, and everyone watching could tell something was off. Punches that didn't land were making him stumble, wild swings were missing on purpose, it looked more like a stage play than a prize fight. LaMotta had agreed to throw the fight, taking a dive so the mob could cash in on betting, and in return, guarantee him a title shot.
$1,000 to lose to Billy Fox.
His payday, $20,000 under the table, and the chance at the middleweight crown. He later admitted it himself. He took the money, he took the dive, and he sold out the sport.
He said it could be arranged. A championship fight might be arranged.
It worked. LaMotta eventually got his shot, but his reputation was forever scarred. What's worse, Billy Fox got the hollow win, the mob got rich, and the fans got lied to. One of the darkest examples of how corruption infected boxing at its core, not just a fighter cheating an opponent, but an entire system cheating the audience. And if you thought Jake LaMotta throwing fights for the mob was bad, wait until you hear this next horror story, because this wasn't just cheating, this was attempted murder in the ring. The 16th of June, 1983, Luis Resto stepped into the ring against undefeated prospect Billy Collins Jr. To the crowd, it looked like a routine matchup, but here's what nobody knew. Resto's trainer, Panama Lewis, had tampered with his gloves. They removed the protective padding, leaving Collins to take bare-knuckle level punishment for 10 brutal rounds. By the end, Collins' face was a mess, his eyes swollen shut, his vision permanently damaged. He would never fight again. The worst part? When Collins' father shook Resto's glove after the fight, he realized instantly there was no padding.
A lot of excitement here. You can call for just like the old days. Huh? You can't hold it, Commissioner. All the pens on
The cover-up exploded, and both Resto and Panama Lewis were exposed, banned from boxing, and eventually convicted in court. Billy Collins' life spiraled, and tragically, less than a year later, he died in a car accident many believe was tied to his depression from the scandal. This wasn't just a dirty trick, it was one of the darkest, most shameful nights in boxing history. A reminder that in the wrong hands, the sport can go from competition to pure cruelty. And there you have it, from Tyson's infamous bite to Margarito's hand wraps, to Panama Lewis and Resto's loaded gloves, cheating has always haunted the world of boxing. These scandals don't just stain reputations, they destroy lives, legacies, and sometimes even the fighters themselves. But here's the real question. If this is what got caught, how many more dark secrets slipped under the radar? The ring may be sacred ground, but as history shows us, not everyone plays by the rules. Stick around, because the next story might just shock you even more. This is Punch Forge, and the fight for the truth never ends.